obviously now we are talking in a scenario where there are two states here, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Whatever solar policy came from the erstwhile Andhra Pradesh government. So now we are having two states, and both of the states are in a situation where there is power shortage. Wherever you see, if you ask Telangana, they say 3,000 megawatt shortage is there. If you say Andhra, they say they have another 2 to 3,000 megawatt shortage. So in that scenario, solar will be very useful. Starting with this, I would also like to mention today is coincidentally one of the co-founders, Mr. Larson's birthday. So L&T company started way back in 1938. Today we have reached such a stage. It's a $14 billion company. So it all started with the two Danish engineers and their spirit. So yeah, brief executive summary about what I'm going to talk today is going to be basically I'm going to go through the overview of what projects we have commissioned so far. It's a good portfolio that we have. And go through the projects that we have commissioned, then the policy, existing policy, incentives that are available, what best we can expect from the new two states, PPA models, the financial estimation of a ground-based project if you are going to invest a 10 megawatt plant, what could be the returns, what could be the workflow of that project. So then some common risks and mitigation in going for a big large-scale solar power projects. As I said, initially itself there is a power shortage in both Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, and solar seems to be a very good alternative. We are always asynchronous as far as power requirement is concerned. Demand is always there and supply is always low. We always seem to be the 2,000, 1,500 megawatts short of what is required every year. Solar can definitely help, as one of our delegates was explaining, that it can be easily installed, quick for execution, and within a year's time we can scale up to 1,000 megawatt capacity. So solar seems to be the solution. But when it comes to solar implementation at a DISCOM level, no DISCOM seems to be comfortable in paying a tariff of 6 rupees 49 paisa, that was the tariff that was previously given from the tender, or 7 rupees, which itself is not viable. If we seriously talk about solar, flat 6 rupees 50 paisa, 6 rupees, these tariffs do not work. DISCOMs are only willing to pay tariffs of around 5 rupees, 4 rupees, which they are comfortable, which they pay for the conventional power itself. If you see the average pool cost, it's only 3 rupees 38 paisa. So they are not comfortable in paying the slightly higher tariff. And it's also reasonable because once it comes to the commercial end, it may eventually be 9 rupees if they start purchasing power in solar. So the onus is on both the industry as well as the EPC players to bring cost down. At the same time, we also would require government support in encouraging solar. It's a matter of giving 2-3 rupees subsidy per unit to encourage solar. Once the scaling up happens, solar is going to be, if not grid parity very soon, but it will be as cheap as maybe wind power. So to assist in this, there are certain benefits like accelerated depreciation benefits, financial incentives like tax incentives, 80IA, Section 80IA specifically talks about tax exemption for profits for a period of 10 years in a block of 15 years. There are certain other input benefits also provided to solar like concessional custom duty, basic custom duty exemption on solar modules, excess duty exemption on products that are involved in completing a project. With all these incentives, solar has come to a stage where it is now almost a matter of a rupee or two where we can match with the grid prices. So then what else is required for solar plant to be commissioned? Solar plant commissioning, the crucial aspect is land identification. And AP and Telangana, both of the regions have good sunshine with an approximate irradiation of 5.5 units per meter square per day. So both seems to be potential areas as far as ground-based projects are concerned for deploying large-scale solar power plants with arid lands in Nantapur, Kurnool, Mahbubnagar and Nalgonda in these regions. So then we will go through how. So best way to go about is to associate with a large-scale EPC contractor like L&T who can take you through the steps that are involved in commissioning a solar power project from concept to commissioning stage. That is where we come in. Even though our whole process starts at the end of building up a huge project, our execution work could be only 4 to 5 months. But taking the project to that level of execution stage itself will take 6 to 8 months. So being an EPC contractor, we take the onus on us to take you through the steps of from the concept stage to the commissioning stage of a solar power project. So as I said, we have a good long portfolio of solar power projects that we have commissioned so far. 190 megawatt solar PV based projects have been commissioned in India since 2008, end of 2008. As you can see, we have wide variety of technologies. As one gentleman was asking previously, what technology is. We are technology agnostic as far as solar is concerned. We use thin film, both amorphous silicon, sharp thin film. We have used cadmium filtrate for solar. We have used polycrystalline various makes, Chinese makes. We have used concentrated solar, And we have done, as I said, rooftop as well as tracker-based solutions. So whether it is fixed, seasonal, tracking-based solution, thin film, crystalline, all technologies have been touched as far as technology is concerned in solar. And as Madam has explained previously, we also have a test bed where we constantly test various products that come into the market in various of our CSTA campuses. These are our training campuses. So briefly now I will go through some of the plants where you can see how the commissioned plant, like a large scale utility, would look like. Before that, starting with how our plants have performed. This is a publicly available data. This is from the SLDC Gujarat, where you can see the first project stands out is Sunclean Renewable Private Limited. This is 6 megawatt plant that we have commissioned. This is thin film based technology, and this seems to be producing the highest yield. This is publicly available data, so it's there for anybody to check. So we are slightly ahead of our competitors for that particular duration. Of course, these things keep on changing. So what is our portfolio? Amorphous silicon close to 40 megawatt, cadmium filter. This is First Solar USA. They are the monopoly company as far as that technology is concerned. 60 megawatt crystalline, the basically known module type that everybody understands. This is the polycrystalline module. 60 megawatt, 68 megawatts of capacity. We have done one single axis tracker based project in Gujarat. Then we are doing the Asia's largest thermal power plant in Rajasthan. This is under execution now and will be commissioned this year by the end of December. Where Pokhran, Rajasthan. So Ariba is the technology part. So as I said, now I am going to briefly go through some of the projects that we have commissioned. This is a 40 megawatt project commissioned in a record time of 129 days in Rajasthan. This is the thin film modules we have used. First Solar. It's the same picture again showing how a completed plant looks with First Solar. Generally, thin film modules are much more picturesque to look at than polycrystalline module. The finished product looks very good. Then this is the tracker-based project. This is one of the largest tracker-based projects currently in India. This is a 10 megawatt project we have done in Gujarat. Single axis tracker, geomatic trackers have been used.